It was like a thing where, like, everyone who
Yeah, I guess we're back.
Oh, we're back?
I mean, I guess we are, since you started...
Sorry.
Was that supposed to be off camera, the thing you were starting to say?
Not necessarily. You can put it on camera if you want.
Well, it's already there.
But basically, when young people showed up at the meetings, they kind of were discouraged from talking. And
You were the tray boy. Or, like, a step up, but you were still the boy.
I was the guy who stood there and said nothing and did nothing, and his job was simply to observe how things work.
Yeah.
And when I spoke up and said, "Good, get rid of McGinty," like, that was the one time anyone piped up and did not get a stern talking to in a back room. Or wind up in, like, 6 different dumpsters.
Nonsense, that's a waste of good young organs.
Fair point. They have to come from somewhere.
Yeah. The boys who speak up is where they come from. In this meeting hall containing fucking Skeletor, Mr. Burns, and I don't know, fuck it, if we're going this far, why not? The fucking Dark Lord. What's his name?
Palpatine?
Voldemort. Yeah, Palpatine too, sure.
Oh man, fucking Mumra attended these meetings.
Alright, are we just gonna go
Get
through
these ancient bones, make them feel the wrath of Mumra! Please put that in.
Okay.
From
okay, you know what? Let's just get out the Rolodex of old Saturday morning cartoon monsters. Let's see. We got,
Evilac.
Evilac! We could probably put, Shredder in here somewhere. I mean, fuck.
Specifically Alien Shredder.
Yeah. The tiny little brain in a torso Shredder.
Yep.
Alright, who else can we throw
Skeletor,
into the...
obviously.
Yeah, we already established Skeletor's there. Aku, Master of Evil. Sure. Canada's just run...
A foolish samurai warrior.
A foolish liberal politician dares to challenge Aku.
Oh my god.
So at this point, Canada's just run by, like, Cartoon Network circa 2001's Rogue Gallery.
Yeah.
Is that what we've come to?
Yeah.
I don't know. But, a couple members of the Water Buffaloes, too. You remember them?
The Flintstones?
Yeah, that secret organization for the Flintstones. Fucking, what was their chant? Like, Walla Walla, who's it? Or something like that?
I don't remember. Jay edited a video.
Yeah, just start layering this in. Play copyright bingo. None of them can put up commercials if I trigger them all.
Don'ts, half-wits, bunglers, brainless idiots.
By the time this paid political announcement is done, every Johnny Lunch pail in this whole stupid state will be eating out of my hand. No, hello, friend.
Deflector shield will be quite operational when your friend arrives.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumra, the ever-living! Now you must still survive.
Tonight I dine on turtle soup.
I, Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness.
Citizens of the United States, I am pleased to announce Cobra's economic recovery plan. If you want money to buy food for your children, take all your valuables to the nearest branch of Extensive Enterprises.
Some red-green references in there, too, just for go nuts.
Red-green?
Yeah.
He wasn't evil.
No, but do you remember that? I'm just fucking... I don't even care anymore. This is just going too deep. I don't know.
You just really love duct tape.
Yeah.
Perhaps a little too much.
Yeah. I mean, you know, to his credit, he did some incredible things with that duct tape.
Oh, man. Like 13 or so seasons in, there was an episode where they ran out of duct tape. And
Oh yeah,
they
that was a
just
serious
panicked.
concern. Oh god.
Like, the entire lodge goes into panic mode.
Oh god. What else was? Who else can we throw into this? Fucking Char's there. Come on.
Who is that guy from Dexter's Laboratory?
Oh, Mandark.
Mandark!
Ha 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 ha.
Those are the other kids who stood in the back and didn't say anything.
You're witnessing the rise of the political career of Mandark. Ha 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 ha.
It would not surprise me if some of those
You
people...
might want to pick your friend up. Fucking Misora every time. She's got like the health of fucking an Ethiopian child.
It would not surprise me if some of the people who were standing in the backs of those rooms who never got to talk are now in actual positions of political power.
Or at the very least, positions of politics.
Yeah. Or will someday be in positions of political power, because it's...
Just think, at one point you might have actually had a future in deciding inane bullshit.
I might have been one of those old guys who decided that McGinty has outlived his usefulness. And then some other young upstart will say, good! And then I will promote him!
You'll groom him to be your replacement when eventually the Earth reclaims you.
When my bones fully ossify.
When they have to remove your ossified corpse with a crowbar and a dustpan.
When my dead body can be used to power automobiles.
When your remains are actively just blown out the window with a stiff puff.
When people in the Middle East are fighting over my dead body.
Only then may you retire. We're getting a lot of mileage out of the phrase really old white people.
It's true, though!
Yeah.
It's super true! I've seen them!
Yeah. All I'm thinking is that, like, the last person to round out our awful cast needs to just be, like, half the bit characters from forgotten Monty Python sketches. And we're there. Like, we have the politicians of Canada all in a row.
And for the record, we're not talking about the people who actually run, we're talking about the people who get to decide who runs.
Yeah. You know that whole conspiracy theory about the dark, shadowy room?
It's
Turns out
fucking
that's
true.
real.
I've been to the blood orgies. They're horrifying.
I mean, so much Viagra.
No. It's
They
not
gotta get it off with a fucking bellows system going on.
No. When I worked in,
Holy shit, were there actually blood orgies?
No, when I worked in pharmaceuticals, when I was at that place that may or may
Oh,
not
right,
be
yeah, the
hotel,
place that was likely illegal.
There was actually a specific type of marital aid, let's call it, for the incredibly ancient that had to be directly injected into your pelvis.
Alright, Martha, we can get it going. Just let me crank her up.
No, I'm serious. This is a real thing. This is a real drug where you have to take an injection into your pelvis in order to get it up because you are that fucking old.
At some point, when you need medical science to resurrect the dead just to get it on, maybe you're too old. Like, if you need to...
Well, they never see it that way.
Yeah, but I mean, like, for Christ's sakes, like, that's like you're literally gonna break something in the act, and that's probably time to stop. Like, look, if you want to have old people sex, that's your business. But I mean, like, if you're gonna actively shatter, like, a Ming vase, maybe reconsider your actions.
The Ming vase that replaced your femur long ago.
Your femur long ago was ejected by your body.
They had to replace it with, like, Bronze Age technology. There's an old hoplite spear just embedded somewhere in your ribs, and it's too dangerous to attempt an operation to move it.
I'm not gonna take it out of me, then the Greeks win! What? Thermopylae!
No, that's not white enough. That was the Persians. And like they'd ever allow someone from the Middle East into one of those meetings. I get in because I
I would have been turned away at the fucking door, just like, I'm sorry,
I'm basically an albino.
Yeah, they just look at me and they're just like, I'm sorry, you're slightly too olive for this group.
You're a little too swarthy for this engagement.
What, is it because my ancestors took over most of Anatolia? We ruled the shit out of it!
It's because he remembers the specific ancestor who took over Anatolia. And he still holds a grudge against your bloodline.
I happen to know your great thrice removed grandfather. Nice guy, he was a prick. Sounds about right. God damn. Speaking of that, like, it's actually kind of funny, because I keep saying how, like, my family has this long line of heroes. There's one black sheep, because there always is, who my father was like, he was the kind of miserable old prick everyone wanted to die, but who was too much of a miserable old prick to give us the satisfaction. And it was like my grandfather, I believe, on my father's side. Or no, it was my grandfather on my mother's side. I actually don't remember which side he was from. He was one of my father's grandfather.
Okay.
To simplify matters.
Great-grandfather.
Yes. And all I've been told about this Cadillac of men is that he smoked, drank, and ate an entire steak every day until his untimely death at 96.
Jesus Christ.
I believe he is... It was funny because the other grandfather, to give an anecdote of how different these two men are, was once held in contempt for the court because he refused to swear on a Bible, because that would have been sacrilege.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing. Like, I can kind of admire that, actually.
So we have that, and we have the guy who stole apples off a tree and then told the orchard leader to go fuck himself.
Oh, man.
I believe he then challenged that orchard owner to a fight over his right to take that guy's apples whenever it pleased him to do so. He also won that fight.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. My dad was just like, when he got really, really old, he just sat in the corner and smoked all the time and called all of us kids assholes to our faces. And I'm like, wow, you just put up with that? He's like, we couldn't get rid of him. Clearly death didn't care for him either.
Oh, man. Apparently,
Pink part. Hey.
my fucking...
Who's Zaku?
My traitor great-grandfather, who had to flee England.
What with all that treason?
What with all the treason. Apparently he was also a prick. But,
Yeah, treasonists tend not to be likable.
But, as it so happens, my great-uncle, John, who now hunts hunts mooses with crossbows.
I believe I think we talked about this way back at the beginning of fucking Zelda, where you're just like, like that uncle gave him the business.
Yeah, oh, he kicked the shit out of his dad. Like, because it was getting out of hand, and he was fucking done. Like, around the time he turned 16, he realized he could take anyone in a fight.
That's the time when the dynamic changes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I still remember that time in my fucking... God, I think it would have been, like, middle school, when I realized that I was a head taller than the rest of the kids and I didn't actually have to take their crap.
Yeah.
When, like, some kid just comes up and does their normal routine and I just turn and I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? And, like, I stand up and all of a sudden it dawned on him that maybe he didn't.
Yeah, actually on my mom's side, again, one generation down, one of my uncles, Dave, used to get made fun of in middle school because he was a head taller than everyone else. Until he started realizing, wait a minute, I'm a head taller than everyone else. And he also started working out a lot. And he got huge.
I think I got respect points when I was one time put into football because they were like, fuck it, we need a dude to just stand there and just get wrecked by the other team. And I'm like, please don't make me do this. And they're like, fucking do it and we'll leave you alone for a couple days. And I was desperate, so I'm like, fuck it. So then like they put me in the front and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to get wrecked by a whole team. Two guys charged me and my immediate instinct was to just go forward with my arms.
Yeah.
And I actually just clotheslined the both of them and they hit the dirt with a noticeable thump.
That's
and didn't get up
amazing.
for a few seconds.
That is
And
amazing.
suddenly I got an entire week off.
I'm gonna go to the shop and buy optional parts before I forget this time.
We'll see you next. Oh, you know what? Let's see what you're gonna buy first, and then we'll call this an episode. Imusa, large Gatling.
I'm gonna buy this.
That goes on your backpack.
And I'm gonna buy this.
What's an if generator? Does it make questions?
Only...
It makes very situational answers.
Yep.
Alright, we'll see you next time, folks.
Bye, everybody.